You've seen them 1,000 times. The clown with the permanent grin. The woman wrapped in ivy. The man who flips a coin to decide your fate. Gotham's villains are iconic. But here's the thing, they're not just obstacles for Batman to punch. They're mirrors. And if you look closely, they reflect something uncomfortable back at us. Let's start with the obvious one. The Joker. On the surface, he's chaos personified. No rules, no plan, just anarchy for the sake of it. But that's not really what makes him terrifying. What makes him terrifying is that he's right about something. The Joker's entire philosophy centers on one idea. Civilization is a thin veneer. Scratch the surface, and everyone becomes a monster. He's not trying to rob banks or take over the city. He's trying to prove a point. He wants to show that ordinary people, when pushed, will abandon their principles. In the uncomfortable truth, sometimes he nearly succeeds. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone cut corners when no one's watching? How many times have you done it yourself? The Joker isn't asking whether humans are capable of evil. He's asking whether goodness is just performance. That's the hidden lesson. Morality isn't automatic. It's a choice one you have to keep making over and over, especially when it's inconvenient. Now let's talk about someone different, Mr. Freeze. Victor Fries wasn't born a villain. He was a scientist desperately trying to save his terminally ill wife. When a corporate executive pulled the plug on his research literally, the accident transformed him into something that could only survive in sub-zero temperatures. His story isn't about evil, it's about grief. Freeze represents what happens when love curdles into obsession. When the thing you care about most becomes the only thing you care about. He freezes people, yes. But metaphorically, he's the one who's frozen, stuck in a moment of loss, unable to move forward. The lesson here cuts deep. Grief left unprocessed doesn't just hurt you, it radiates outward. It harms everyone around you. Freeze isn't choosing villainy. He's trapped in it because he can't let go. Then there's Two-Face. Harvey Dent was Gotham's golden boy. The district attorney who was going to clean up the city through the system. He believed in justice, in fairness, in playing by the rules. And then the rules failed him. After his disfigurement, Dent doesn't become random like the Joker. He becomes obsessed with chance, the coin flip, heads or tails, live or die. It's not about chaos. It's about the illusion of fairness. See, Harvey believed the system was just. When it betrayed him, he didn't abandon the concept of justice. He replaced it with something he could control. Probability. The coin doesn't lie. The coin doesn't play favorites. The hidden lesson. When institutions fail people, they don't stop seeking order. They create their own. And sometimes that new order is far more dangerous than the chaos it was meant to replace. Two-Face is a warning about what happens when faith in systems shatters completely. I'll consider Poison Ivy. Pamela Eiley was a botanist who underwent an experimental transformation. Now, she's basically a plant-human hybrid who wages war on behalf of nature. Easy to dismiss, right? Eco-terrorist. Tree hugger gone wrong. But here's the uncomfortable part. Her grievances aren't imaginary. Ivy looks at humanity and sees a species that destroys ecosystems, drives animals to extinction, poisons the air it breathes all while claiming dominion over the natural world. Her methods are extreme. Her conclusions are violent. But her observations. They're not wrong. The lesson isn't that eco-terrorism is justified. Obviously not. The lesson is that righteous causes can still produce monsters. Being correct about a problem doesn't make you correct about the solution. Ivy represents the danger of letting a legitimate grievance consume your entire identity. And then there's Bane. People remember Bane as the guy who broke Batman's back. But that's not what makes him interesting. Bane grew up in a prison, serving a sentence for crimes his father committed. He was punished before he ever had a chance to be innocent. And in that crucible, he became something extraordinary. Educated himself, trained his body, honed his mind. He's not just strong, he's brilliant. Bane's hidden lesson is about the systems we inherit. He was born into punishment, into a life predetermined by someone else's choices. And while his response, becoming a ruthless mercenary, isn't admirable, his origin forces a question. How many people are trapped in cycles they didn't create? How many are punished for circumstances beyond their control? Bane doesn't excuse his actions. But he does illuminate something true about how injustice perpetuates itself across generations. Finally, Let's talk about Scarecrow. Jonathan Crane was a psychologist fascinated by fear. He developed a toxin that induces terrifying hallucinations, forcing victims to confront their deepest phobias. Cruel? Absolutely. But also instructive. Scarecrow understands something most people avoid acknowledging. Fear is the great controller, shapes decisions, determines behavior, defines boundaries. Politicians use it. Advertisers use it. Your own brain uses it against you constantly. The hidden lesson from Scarecrow isn't about fear toxin. It's about recognizing how much fear already governs your life without any chemical assistance. The relationships you don't pursue, the chances you don't take, the conversations you avoid. Scarecrow weaponizes fear, but most people are already weaponizing it against themselves. So what do all these villains share? They're not evil for evil's sake. They're distortions of recognizable human experiences. Grief, betrayal, righteousness, trauma, fear. Every single one started somewhere understandable. That's what makes them genuinely frightening, because the line between Gotham's citizens and Gotham's villains isn't as thick as anyone wants to believe. And maybe that's the real hidden lesson.